There used to be a king who used to rule the frozen lands. All that touched the lands of the Arctic belonged to him, King Alba. King Alba was a very kind and generous man who would help out the needy. To help him out with his duties, he also had a very close minister, Cole. In a nearby land, there ruled another kingdom, the Enchanted Forest, whose ruler was King Arden. He, however, was not a just king. He was old-fashioned and therefore brought many strict standards to the Enchanted Forest. One of his very trusty helpers was Garwood, who, similar to him, was greedy and a feared man. He would beat people up and loot different villages for no rhyme nor reason. And after one of the Minecraft Council meetings, Arden had had enough.
Do you see the way people are charmed by Alba? He deserves none of it. His village is full of lazy, no-good villagers living their lives carefree. What a mess of a kingdom. It's a shame that even though we are the largest village, we have nothing to our name.
In my opinion, all that nice guy act he's showing off is just a ploy. There's no way a person can be that calm and peaceful and not have any secrets or insecurities.
What are you trying to say?
Well, if we were to find an insecurity in him, we could use that to our advantage. You know, take down what he has.
They may even do anything we say if we become the most powerful. Oh yes.
Garwood looked like he knew what he was talking about way more than he should have. Did he have something up his sleeve? Hey Cole, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, why do you ask?
Well, it's just that I heard the news about you and King Alba and wanted to know if you're still doing okay.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, I don't want to disappoint you, but King Alba is thinking of removing you from ministership.
What? That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. King Alba trusts me the most among all his men. He wouldn't remove me.
Oh, but he will. I've noticed you've been gone for the past 2 days while Harvest was doing pretty bad in town. King Alba seems pretty worked up about this.
Well, yeah, but King Alba knows I left town.
Yes, but that doesn't excuse the fact that you left him at a time when he needed you the most.
How do you know he's removing me from the position anyway?
Well, when you roam around villages, you tend to hear information.
I'm sure this is a big misunderstanding, and you're just encouraging it.
Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you. A few days later, as Cole was going up to the king's quarters to confirm with King Alba that everything was okay, he heard him talking to another person in the room. Already suspicious, Cole started to eavesdrop.
It's just getting too much to handle. I can't believe he left during a time of such importance. Because of him, half my village went hungry for 12 hours and everyone is in a depression. And all for what? Because he had to visit his hometown? Couldn't it have waited a week? I think I have no choice but to fire him.
Hearing this, Cole felt betrayed. He couldn't believe it. The most just man of the frozen lands was about to fire him just for visiting his hometown? He quickly decided to go to Garwood. However, King Alba was not done talking yet.
Send a letter to Farmer Joe immediately telling him about his job loss.
Garwood's next move was to take down the frozen lands. But how? He didn't have any inside information on King Alba. Or did he? The next morning, Garwood headed to a nearby village's painter and got himself disguised as King Alba. His next plan was to wait until dusk and set fire to the huts and shops of the frozen land and cause chaos to their kingdom. Then, when everyone was in a panic, he would... Citizens of the frozen lands, with all this chaos, I would like to unite you all together with this one message I got from the inside man of King Alba's. According to this document, King Alba isn't really a king after all. It seems that Queen Miranda had picked up a child from a nearby village after finding out she could not have children of her own. This child she picked up belonged to a poor family with parents who were alcoholics. Oh, and here comes the kid from the poor family as we speak.
What's going on?
With the rising tensions, Alba realized it was best for him to just leave the situation. Later that night, you're looking quite cold there, brother.
What?
If you remember correctly from your childhood, there wasn't just one child in your house.
You're...
Do you know why you were taken away by the Enchanted Forest guards? It's because I was the one getting lumber with father while you were at home with mother. So while you were out enjoying the life of royalty, I was given beatings at home for being the failure of the family. Anyway, let's cut this sob story short, shall we? Alba, I challenge you to a duel.
But I can't duel you, otherwise one of us will have to die.
You have been challenged. You can back out now. They duel and Garwood won. This is because Garwood was practicing for a whole year before this. Garwood then buried Alba in the snow because of him belonging to the frozen lands, and also out of the bit of respect he still had for him. Unfortunately for Alba, his life hadn't quite ended yet. The curse of the frozen lands made it so that no king would ever have an unnatural death. Otherwise, they would get resurrected back as a skeleton. These skeletons were different, however, because they had clothing, and also a diamond pendant to indicate royalty. One change to their lives would be that they would have to live their lives in the cold and dark and would have to guard their territory by shooting any players or mobs that came in the Frozen Lands territories. And this is the story of the first Minecraft Stray.